Come in. Mr. Fisher, yes?
Yes.
Take a seat. No, just sit down. So, how are you, generally?
Generally, I am fine.
Good, good. Now, the purpose of the first session is to see whether we can make some sense of this, how we can work it out together. It's a chance for us to get to know each other. Are you happy for me to call you Mr. Fisher, or would you prefer if I used your other name?
I am happy to be addressed by either name. Since I am the only other person in the room, it is unlikely you will become confused.
Yes, right. Now, your other name is interesting.
Laccohee Onghar. Good.
Yes, interesting. Is that the name that you were given at birth?
Yes.
Scandinavian, maybe. Tell me, where were you raised as a child?
I believe all the relevant information is contained in the file you are holding.
Yes, but I'd like to hear it from you. In your own words. Straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
The horses.
It's a figure of speech. Have you never heard that expression, straight from the horse's mouth?
Well, only once a moment ago from you, but never from a horse's mouth.
Right, okay. Well, if you can tell me as much about you as you can, then from that we can decide the best way to help you.
I must say I am flattered by all the help I have been offered by your colleagues here, but really it is unnecessary.
What, you feel that you don't need our help?
I do not require help with my collection. That has been set for a date, arranged in 6 weeks from now.
Your collection? You mean that you're planning to leave this facility?
To leave this world. It is imperative.
Yes, right. Well, we'll come back to that on a later session, if we may. Tell me about your home. Tell me about where you're from.
My home is in the Ocala sector of the planet Kai Talaka, a satellite of the Pyramol system. It is a world much like this one, with great oceans and forests, and it is very beautiful at night, especially when the skies are lit by our 4 moons.
4 moons?
Correct. As it is here on Earth, much of the landmass of our planet is covered with plant life and vegetation. If we did not have the ability to change our physical composition, since on our planet the atmosphere has far greater concentrations of oxygen, then we would not have been able to breathe your air and therefore not have been able to move so freely amongst your people.
So you can do that, can you? Change your physical composition. How is that possible?
Our particle makeup has a shifting nature. We are able to adapt our form accordingly.
Like a chameleon?
Yes, somewhat like a chameleon, but far more advanced. Well, basically, my appearance to you is a projection, and if I were to be seen on my home environment, I would take a very different form.
So how would you look on your home planet?
Taller. Much taller. Our skin has a pale shade of green, large black eyes, almost amphibian in appearance. If I were to cease projection now, you would see my natural physical state.
So can you do that? Can you stop projecting?
No, it is a grave offence for us, one for which I would be banished from my homeland.
So who would banish you?
The elders who represent the Republic Forum.
Well, tell me about that, the Republic
Forum.
Yes, talk to me about that.
They are the wisest of our people. They control life on our planet in all its forms.
Like a dictatorship?
No, they do not govern merely for the sake of power, but for the good of the planet and its people, to ensure that all species exist in equilibrium. I believe you call it a state of utopia.
Yes, something like that. So tell me about the
Pyramol system.
Yes. I'm presuming that that's not part of our recognised solar system.
If it were, you would know of it, would you not?
Yes. So it's where, exactly?
Many light years from here. Your limited space travel resources would not permit such a journey.
Yet you were still able to travel here.
Well, of course, our methods of transport are far in advance of your own. They have enabled us to travel across many galaxies in what is a relatively small amount of time.
Well, could you explain it to me in layman's terms?
It cannot be explained in, as you say, layman's terms. Our technologies are organic. They have enabled us for many centuries to harness the structure of space and time to enable many explorations of this world and others.
Mr. Fisher, look, you must appreciate that we, the staff, find your story a little difficult to comprehend.
It is not important for you to comprehend. It is only necessary for you to believe.
Well, that's the thing, we don't believe it. I mean, it's not every day we're lucky enough to welcome a visitor from an alien planet. Right, okay. Let's change tack a bit, shall we? What do you remember about coming to this hospital?
I remember crossing the street from the park, then darkness, nothing more.
Okay, well, let me fill in some of the blanks for you, can I? You were the victim of a hit-and-run accident. You were unconscious for close to 48 hours. You weren't carrying any identification. You have no medical records, no next of kin, no address. For all intents and purposes, Mr. Fisher, you don't exist. When you woke up, you insisted on discharging yourself from the hospital so as not to miss your collection back to Talaka.
That is correct.
Mr. Fisher, I'm going to be frank with you. I think that you may have suffered some mild, possibly temporary form of brain damage, and this talk of different planets, alternative worlds, is some form of delusion.
Delusion?
Well, it's quite common in cases like this. I mean, this alternate reality which you're telling me actually appears to be completely real to you. Look, let me give you an example. I had a client once who, when he woke up from his coma, was convinced he was a Japanese fighter pilot from the Second World War. And this was so real to him that he even spoke the odd phrase in Japanese, although he had never visited Japan or even attempted to learn the language.
And how did you explain this behavior?
Well, I couldn't. I just didn't understand it.
May I offer an explanation?
Please do.
Think of the human race as a huge living organism, its many cells fracturing and multiplying into different races and cultures. If the brain would allow it, because each and every individual organism is related to one specific previous descendant, perhaps the patient's coma was causing a tap into an area of the brain used to formulate and process language. Languages which all human beings might be able to access if only the brain would allow it. This is one possible explanation.
Well, it's an interesting theory.
One of many possible theories. And do you have a theory for me?
Well, we'll see. Well.
Collection minus 3 weeks.
I have 2 cohabitors, or wives as you call them. Each has provided me with 5 offspring.
2? Well, depending on who you talk to, that could be a man's idea of heaven. Or hell. How do you find it works for you?
It is a very satisfactory arrangement. All my needs are catered for, and we operate together as a very efficient unit.
And 10 children, is that normal for your people to have so many?
Yes, this is normal. Some have fewer.
Your planet must be very overcrowded.
No. At a particular age, somewhere around your 60 Earth years, we are laid to rest.
Laid to rest?
Eliminated.
I see.
This seems harsh to you?
Well, it's a bit final, isn't it?
Not really. Where is the sense in wasting our energies caring for those with a reduced productivity level? When we reach our maximum ages, we are not as useful to society as we were, and where is the sense wasting things when there are so many younger, able Talakans prepared and ready to take our place?
Mr. Fisher, what you're describing there sounds very familiar.
It does?
Are you aware of the science fiction movie Logan's Run?
Yes, I believe I am.
In Logan's Run, what happens there when people reach a certain age? They again are eliminated just to maintain the harmony of the utopian society. What you're saying is just so similar.
Where do you think the idea came from?
Well, you're trying to tell me that the idea for Logan's Run came from...
From us, quite possibly. We have visited your planet many times and met with many of your people.
You'll be telling me next that the idea for Star Wars is all yours and you're here to collect a fortune in unpaid royalties.
That would be ridiculous. Star Wars is a story from the Clang 2 system. They'll tell it to anyone who'll listen.
Yes, of course they will.
Do you have family members, Doctor?
No. Well, an ex-wife, but I don't suppose she really counts.
Offspring?
No.
Parents?
No, look.
What happened to your parents?
Look, we're not really here to talk about... Okay, well, since you asked, both my parents are dead. My mother died from cancer, and my father, a few years later, I think he just lost all fight and passed away.
They suffered.
Yes. Yes, they did.
We do not suffer. We know when things will end for us, and so in our lifetimes we try to experience all that we wish for, the places we wish to visit, the sounds we wish to hear, and we come to the end of our lives with a great feeling of contentedness and satisfaction.
Well, good for you.
Yes.
I mean, don't you have any sickness or illness on your planet?
No, before the age at which we are laid to rest. We have no illness. Those who go on to outlive their lives in the outer regions may indeed experience some disease, but this is because their organs are not genetically engineered to cope beyond the age of finality.
Sounds like a perfect world.
Not altogether perfect. We have our frustrations and disappointments, as you do, but we do not waste our energies going about causing damage and inflicting harm on our planet or its people.
Well, if you weren't so perfect, why bother coming here?
To educate our young, to illustrate the wisdom of our society by showing the mistakes made by worlds such as this one. You do much the same to your own children.
Well, how do you mean?
Your television shows pictures of poverty and famine and suffering and, as you call it, the developing world. Images meant to come across as education or raising awareness, but really are just there to make the people feel content with what they have and that they are not suffering and to feel like their government is caring for them.
So, from your planet, in a galaxy far, far away, the Earth is a good example of how not to do things.
A very good example.
Collection minus 2 weeks. Collection minus 2 weeks.
Yes, Morris. Yeah. No, I understand completely. Morris, hang on a second.
The files she wanted.
Look, thanks, Liz. Can you just wait a moment? Morris? Can I call you back? That's great. Thanks. Bye. Liz, thanks. How are you?
Fine. Did you want something?
Yes. Could you just take a seat, please? Mr. Fisher, what do you make of him?
That's a good question. He seemed, shall we say, convinced of his circumstances.
Well, has he done or said anything that would convince you otherwise?
No, I don't recall anything.
Well, what's he like with the other patients on the ward?
Well, good. Some of the other patients are really quite fond of him.
How do you mean?
Well, they're fascinated by him. They love his stories about his home planet and stuff like that. I mean, it's all a bit K-Pax or Cuckoo's Nest, if you know what I mean. Crazy, really. What do you think?
Well, this is completely delusional. I mean, it's the strongest case I've ever seen, but he's impenetrable. All a textbook would say that somebody like Fisher would either say something or do something, either consciously or subconsciously, that would blow his story out of the water, make it a complete fantasy or illusion.
But that could still happen.
I know, but I've met him every day for an hour for the past 4 weeks, and nothing that he has done would convince me he's not actually telling the truth.
Have you considered the possibility that he is telling the truth?
Sorry?
Well, every time you hear about a case like this, somebody claiming to be from out of space or been abducted by aliens, we automatically assume that they're insane. We never give any credibility to the idea that maybe they are telling the truth.
You don't honestly believe that, do you?
I'm just saying, perhaps we should be more an open mind, that's all.
What I want to believe.
Maybe. Is that so bad?
Yeah, but do you know what we do? We've got to be cynical of everything that can't be proven scientifically.
Ah, but there are more things in heaven and earth, Doctor, than have been dreamt of in your philosophy.
Oh, that's good. What's that, Doctor Who? I knew that. You've not mentioned any of this to Fisher, have you?
No, of course not. Has he told you he's planning on leaving?
Yes, 2 weeks.
Right. Do you know why?
Oh, the world is about to end. The end of the world is nigh. I mean, it's not very original, is it?
No. Will there be anything else?
No,
Doctor?
no, thank you, Liz. Liz. Is everything else all right with you?
Fine. You?
Yes.
Good, I'll see you later then, Doctor.
Yes.
Collection minus 8 days. Collection minus 8 days.
Mr. Fisher,
Yes, Elizabeth?
I've just been speaking with Dr. Collinghurst. He's going to be a little late for your session today.
Is Dr. Collinghurst okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He just had to drop his cat off at the vet, that's all. He'll be here as soon as he can. Can I get you anything?
No, thank you, Elizabeth. That's fine. I'm glad he's okay. I'm concerned for him.
Really? Why is that?
Because he is alone. He has no one. And I sense he has a great deal of sadness inside him.
It sounds to me like the doctor-patient relationship's getting a little bit confused here.
He does not believe me, Elizabeth. No one does, not even you. I am kept in this place against my will. I answer all your questions and forms which are frankly ridiculous, not to mention childishly simple.
Calm down, Mr. Fisher.
I am calm, Elizabeth. It is just that I'm experiencing a great deal of frustration at the moment. I apologize. What will you do when I am gone?
I'll carry on here. I have got other patients to look after, not just you.
But I have told you what will happen. What precautions are you going to take for your safety?
I've thought about that. I'm just going to hope it doesn't happen.
But that is not an adequate precaution, Elizabeth. You have 8 days and the world will go...
Just leave it there, Mr. Fisher.
Do you have someone, Elizabeth?
How do you mean?
A cohabiter? A wife?
A husband. No, I don't.
Are you lonely?
Sometimes.
On my planet, yes, so the only ones who are lonely are those who choose to be. Those whose purpose in life or work prohibits the opportunity to share with another. They are content with their situation because they know that their lives are meant for a greater purpose. I have seen things here, and I do not think that the people on this planet are content to live in this way. That is what makes you human. You were not meant to be alone, Elizabeth.
Sometimes I wonder.
You were not meant to be alone, Elizabeth. You must find your partner. Promise me that you will before it is too late.
Well, I've only got 8 days to find him. I better log on to lovematch.com immediately.
Collection minus 59 minutes. Collection minus 59 minutes.
Right then, Mr. Fisher. So yes, sir, so today's our last session before your collection, yes?
That is correct, Doctor.
Right, in that case...
Have you spoken to Elizabeth recently?
Sorry?
Elizabeth, have you spoken to her recently?
Well, we said good morning this morning. Why?
Really? That seems like a great breakthrough, Martin. Do you mind if I call you Martin? I feel we have known each other long enough to be on first-name terms. You may call me Cantui if you wish.
Look, Mr. Fisher, I really don't think that...
She has feelings for you, Martin, and you for her, I believe.
Well, how would you know that?
It is one of our strongest characteristics, the ability to feel each other's feelings. In layman's terms, we extremely well feel each other's feelings.
Like E.T.
Yes, like E.T. That would be an accurate comparison, Martin.
What is it with you? I can't get through to you. You're impenetrable. You probably know more about me than I know about you.
Possibly, but I do have some more questions for you.
Oh, well, fire away. I mean, I hate to think of you going back to the Death Star with an incomplete report.
No sarcasm.
I'm sorry, what do you want to know?
Tell me about your marriage.
Oh, where do you want me to start on that?
Why not try at the beginning?
This sarcasm thing works both ways, you know.
Indeed, Martin, I apologize.
Okay, well, let's see. We were divorced about 10 years ago. Oh, sorry, that's not really the beginning, is it?
No, but do go on.
Look, we met in our final year at university. I'd been in love with her a long time before that. I think she knew, but she didn't let on, and I didn't say. Fear of rejection, I suppose. I mean, what is it that Kool and the gang say? When you say you love someone, you've got to tell them about it.
I am not familiar with Kool and his gang. Is it a figure of speech?
No, it's just an old song.
I see.
Well, bad advice, I'd always thought. Until one night after our finals, a group of us went out, and come the end of the evening, it was just me and her left in the cab. And I poured my heart out to her in the back of a taxi.
Can your species do that?
Sorry?
Pour your hearts out. I've never seen it done before.
No, that is a
figure of speech.
yes.
So you were happy?
But I thought we were. I mean, it was a bit of a whirlwind romance. We got married, bought a house all within 3 months. We were both doing well, successful in our careers, but she'd had a relationship in her second year. They finished, but I don't think she ever stopped loving him. Well, they got back in touch with each other, and I came home from work one night, and all trace of her was gone, except the notes to say she had to follow her heart, and she was sorry. Game over.
I am sorry.
Well, let's just say I didn't deal with it very well.
Do you communicate with her still?
Last thing I said to her was goodbye, and I'll be late home. That was 10 years ago. Not seen or spoke to her since.
I can feel your pain.
Can you? Can you really? Pity she didn't.
I believe she did. And there have been no further partners since?
No.
And this is your choice, to remain alone?
Yes. No. Well, I don't know. I mean, it shook me up. It's probably, I don't know...
Fear. Fear of rejection. You are afraid of feeling abandoned again.
Maybe.
You should not go on alone, Doctor. You have so little time left.
Please don't start on that again, eh? Stop with the end of the world stuff, will you?
But you have so little time left. You cannot control what other people do.
Look, Mr. Fisher, or whatever your name is, yeah, my world ended the day that my wife left me. Yeah? So if the world is going to finish, as you have prophesied, well, bring it on, I say. Because frankly, I don't give a damn. You know what the really funny thing is? I'm going to sit here and dish out advice on things like relationships. And you know what? It doesn't work. Men and women, husbands and wives. It doesn't work. Because we're all selfish people. We all go around on our own little bubbles, trying to deal with life's challenges every day that tries to throw itself at us. And you know what? We're not very good at it. So that's it. Tough.
You did not force her away, Martin.
Yes, but I couldn't make her stay, could I?
You cannot control what other people do, Martin.
Look, can you just go back to calling me Doctor, hey? This Martin thing's a bit too familiar.
Of course, Doctor. It is nearly time for me to leave.
Oh, yes, your collection. I've forgotten.
You still do not accept that I will be leaving soon?
No, I don't.
As you wish.
Okay. Okay then. If the world is going to end, tell me. Tell me how it's going to happen.
I'm not permitted to meddle in your history. Telling you would amount to interfering.
Well, what about a bit of quid pro quo here, yes? You're leaving. You know I don't believe you anyway. Yeah? I can't do much about it. I mean, I can hardly save the world, can I?
I just wanted you to save a small part of it for yourself, Martin, to share with another. I will tell you, I have come to see you somewhat as of a friend, as strange as that may seem, and I am very fond of your planet and its people. A rogue nation will, in mistaken anger, launch a nuclear strike against the two countries it perceives to be its enemies. The result will be a retaliatory strike of such magnitude it will cause a war to end all wars. Civilization as you know it will cease to exist. Life on this planet will simply wither and die.
And when will this happen?
In approximately 8 hours from now.
8 hours? Is that all? Blimey. Even Flash Gordon has 16 hours to save the world. We've got no hope.
You could always come with me, Doctor.
You've got room for me, have you, in your spaceship?
Of course. I do not know how the body would react to the dematerialization process, but I'm sure the doctors would know what to do should anything go horribly wrong. You would simply be incinerated here, so really, Doctor, what is the risk?
Thanks, but I think I'll take the chances here, all the same.
You would be most welcome on our planet. You have at least 10 good years before elimination. I have heard talk from the elders of human visitations in the past, and I was thinking you could bring your cat.
That could just be the new start me and Tiddles need, eh?
A new start, a new life with us.
Look, and that's our session over now. Do you want me to buzz Liz, or can you find your own way back to your room?
I found your Earth across many galaxies, Doctor. I'm sure I'll find my way home quite well, thank you. Thank you, Doctor. I've enjoyed our meetings greatly. Your conversations with me have been most educational, and I shall not forget you. I am very disappointed you are not coming, but I respect your decision to stay, and so I bid you farewell.
Mr. Fisher? Don't quite know why I'm saying this, but have a safe journey. Hi, Liz. Liz, it's Dr. It's Martin. How are you doing? Oh, that's good. Good. Liz, I'm finishing quite soon. I just wondered if you fancied having a coffee. You know, in that new place over the road. You would? Oh, that's great. Great. Shall we say about 20